Hello class, today I will give you all a basic simple way of looking at how blood flows through the heart. So I will begin with this picture here. Blood flow through the heart. Here's our human heart. We'll follow the arrows of how blood will be flowing through the heart. So we know that the heart is more of an independent type of organ. Other organ systems are dependent upon the cardiovascular system. Okay? The function of the cardiovascular system is to transport heat, to transport nutrients, materials to and from the body cells. So our oxygenated blood gets deposited into the cells, and then the deoxygenated blood gets released from the body cells. And so the heart, we know that it is a double pump. Okay, so it is doing both processes pretty much at the same time. So let's look at the overview of the human heart. Here's our human heart here. All right, we have our right atria. We have our tricuspid or atrioventricular valve that's found here. We have our right ventricle. We have our pulmonary or pulmonic valve, aka semilunar valve. We have our pulmonic trunk, all right, and then that trunk branches off and goes into the right and our left lung. From there, we'll have the pulmonary veins, and the pulmonary veins will be returning oxygenated blood. So I'll talk about that shortly. Then we have our left atria, okay, left atria, our bicuspid, aka mitral, aka atrioventricular valve. We have our left ventricle. Then we have our aortic valve here, aka semilunar valve. And then from there we have our aorta. So this is the ascending aorta, the aortic arch, and then we have our descending aorta going and diving behind the heart. We have our inferior vena cava and our superior vena cava on the right side. So let's look at how blood flows through the heart. I'm going to start by slicing or taking the right side of the heart, talking about the right side of the heart, and then I will start beginning talking about the left side of the heart. Okay. So on the right side of the heart, we'll see everything is blue here. So for those of you that may have some challenges here, this is blue. So our veins or deoxygenated blood would be known as like a bluish color in the book and on the slides. Okay. So, and then the red, you'll see that more on the left side. That depicts the oxygenated blood. Okay. So the oxygenated blood is on the left side. So let's talk here. The inferior vena cava, that's right here. That is a large vessel. Vena is vein, so it's a large vein. Okay, and it is responsible for returning deoxygenated blood from everywhere below the heart. So let's just say from the apex of the heart, that is closest to the diaphragm. All right, so everything below here, all right? The abdominal organs, the lower extremity, they all drain or return deoxygenated blood to the inferior vena cava, and from the inferior vena cava into, you see this arrow here, into the right atria. This superior vena cava is going to return deoxygenated blood from everywhere above the heart. So the base of the heart lies at about the location of the second rib. So everything above the second rib, so the first rib, the neck, the head, all of that deoxygenated blood is returned to the superior vena cava, and from the superior vena cava, it is going to deposit that deoxygenated blood into the right atria. So now we go right atria through the tricuspid valve, aka right atrioventricular valve, into the right ventricle. From the right ventricle, still deoxygenated blood is going to pump through the pulmonary or pulmonic valve, aka right semilunar valve. From the right semilunar valve through the pulmonic trunk, and the trunk is just another name for a large vessel, okay, large blood vessel. And then it's going to branch into the right and left lungs. Okay, so this vessel is going to pump into the right and left lungs, so still deoxygenated blood. The right side of the heart pumps deoxygenated blood to the left lung and to the right lung. So I don't have any lungs here because I'm focusing on the blood flow to the heart. From there, the lungs then exchange the deoxygenated blood to oxygenated blood. And then that oxygenated blood is returned to the left atria via the pulmonary veins. All right. So that exchange happens in the lungs. The lungs then return oxygenated blood through the pulmonary veins, from the pulmonary veins into the left atria. From the left atria, that blood flows through the bicuspid or mitral valve, aka left atrioventricular valve, and we know that the valves are there to prevent the backflow of blood. From the valve, the blood is flowing from the left atria through the valve to the left ventricle, from the left ventricle through the aortic valve, aka the left semilunar valve, from the left semilunar valve through the aorta, from the aorta to the entire body. So that is a basic function of the blood flow through the heart. Hopefully this video helped you to get an understanding of how blood flows through the heart. It's just a basic, simple function, and it will assist you in your reading.